That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 2 of Hardest Part of the Ring. This is the new podcast where 4 friends get together to celebrate the wonder of professional wrestling. The majority of our podcasts will focus on reviewing WWE pay-per-views, but there'll also be discussions on wrestling from around the world, as well as special one-off episodes with games and quizzes, and other yet-to-be-thought-of, but definitely highly engaging and entertaining content. My name's Adam, and I'm joined as always by Sam.
Adam Cole, baby!
Oh, God. John.
Adam Cole, baby!
And Brett.
Adam Cole, baby.
I wasn't prepared for that, but it was amazing. I was a bit freaked out while you were shouting Adam.
Yeah, I wanted to go Stan Andrews and I panicked.
I that's what I thought we were doing.
I'm sorry, guys.
That really threw me. How is everyone?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Great.
Are you coping well with your newfound fame in the world of wrestling podcasting?
It's difficult going out to get milk from the shop, but I
Yeah.
have to take pens with me everywhere.
People recognising your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I thought before we get started, we could have a little catch up, talk about what we've been up to since the first episode. John, you've been to India, right?
Yeah, got back last week. Lovely stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get up to anything interesting?
Just travelled around a bit. Didn't see any wrestling or any Punjabi prisons.
Oh, what? I thought you were going to track it down.
Did see quite a lot of WWE t-shirts in dodgy markets, but mainly like John Cena, Roman Reigns knockoff ones.
Were any for the modern day
No,
Maharaja?
I was keeping an eye out because I thought there might be one or two. None, not one.
They don't even know, do they?
I did manage.
I've got absolutely no idea.
They don't care. They've got other problems, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah.
So as well as that, I think you also went to a recent Ring of Honor show, right? The War of the Worlds event in London.
So last Friday, I went to the Ring of Honor show up in Bethnal Green, which is a bit of a hole, but the venue was very nice. I went with my friend Jack, who's a lifelong WWE fan.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was really good. It's great seeing the Briscoes. I love the Briscoes. I love the fact that one of them's missing teeth. They look like badasses. They look like they're cooking meth when they're not wrestling. Bully Ray made an appearance, which was great, and they did like a nice little Dudley spot, and I was just drunk enough to enjoy it without feeling awkward.
Excellent. Perfect.
Excellent.
The match of the night was Kushida versus Titan, which was amazing, and then the main event was Los Ingobernables de Japón versus the Bullet Club, which was
Brett's got your back on this.
amazing.
Ingobernables.
Nice one, Brett. Thanks. We were right by the ramp as well, so we were like fist bumping all the wrestlers as they're going back and in. It was awesome. I even managed to touch the IPG Junior title belt.
No.
And I was giddy as a schoolboy. I've never been more excited in all my life.
That's incredible.
Who's carrying that round at the moment? Is that Kushida?
Yeah. He won it in the Super Juniors, didn't he, against Ospreay.
Right, yeah, of course.
Nice. Well, there are a couple of pictures from that event that we stuck on our Instagram, which people may have seen. Brett, you went to Riptide Wrestling in Brighton.
I did.
Touch any belts?
No, I didn't. I did get to shake Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates' hand, though. So that was pretty awesome. Although, no offence to them, I am now jealous and want to trade it for a Naito fist bump.
That was so cool. Yeah, sorry.
All you guys with your touching wrestlers.
Sam, did you touch any? Have you been touching any wrestlers recently?
I haven't touched any wrestlers recently. I'm so jealous.
This should be the new competition we have internally on the pod. Like each podcast, who's touched the most wrestlers between the last podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
It's on. Okay, I'm up for that.
I've got a plan.
Yeah,
If
that
I
should
live,
be good.
I might live by one.
This is
Going to go see some wrestling. Going to bring a beach ball with me. I'll be able to attract
we'll get to
attention.
So, Sam, you haven't been touching any wrestlers, but I know you've been watching an awful lot of wrestling, specifically the G1, as Brett and John have too.
Yeah, I have absolutely overloaded myself on G1 recently. I hate to say this, but I've actually probably watched mostly Toru Yano matches, which I know are not the most impressive of matches from a wrestling standpoint, but are definitely the most entertaining.
I watched his match with Kenny Omega this weekend, and it did make me chuckle.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, because I know you were
Yes.
not great on comedy matches, but it's just both of them are really funny guys. But I mean, away from funny, the G1 final and a few standout matches were absolutely incredible. Stuff I'd never seen before, to be honest. Like the levels of what was happening. Kenny Omega Okada 3 was, as everyone expected, just amazing. Tanahashi Naito, again, just a great match. But for me, the final, Kenny Omega versus Naito, my God, what a match. Just unbelievable stuff. Really just worth watching. Just
scary moments.
Yeah. Naito's, I was going to say Japan suplex. Naito's German suplex is one of the scariest things I think I've seen in wrestling. Because I always think he's going to plant them on their face, how much kind of lift he gets on them.
Yeah, they go straight up, don't they?
It's incredible.
Yeah, I think I've got to catch up at some point. I didn't watch any of the... Well, no, I did. I watched the Ibushi Naito match from right at the beginning.
Oh,
yeah.
that match.
That was great.
That was awesome. But I need to catch up at some point because I have been particularly busy watching Progress. I've now caught up.
Yay!
53 chapters done in just over 2 months.
Should get a trophy.
Finally managing to spend some time with my wife and daughter again.
That's a title shot for you now, mate.
Seeing some sunlight. Is it?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, yeah, it's been great. I don't really know what to do with myself. I think, probably watch the G1. But I'm now a fully fledged Progress fan, and I think we need to try and get some tickets. Although I think that's going to be quite hard.
Yeah, it's difficult. They sell out very quickly.
They do.
But you got an in
We
now.
will have to get down.
Didn't you like one of your tweets? It's an in. Get on that guest
What,
list.
Jim? I don't think that counts. I don't think that gets you a ticket. But you never know.
Maybe.
Cool. So that's us all caught up. Just wanted to very quickly just go back to episode 1 and just say a huge thank you, really, to everybody who has downloaded the episode and listened to it and commented and given us feedback. Thank you very, very much. It's been really exciting, obviously, for us to hear that people have been enjoying it. We've had quite a few listeners, more than we expected. We've also had listeners from around the world, not just from the UK, but from the US and Spain. We had one from Japan. We had a couple from Brazil, randomly. We had 6 from India, which was quite random. A couple of those came, well, they all came when you were out there, John, so I don't know if you were recruiting people.
Well, spreading the good word.
Great promoting.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much to everybody who listened to that episode, and do feel free to go back and listen to it if you haven't already. It was kind of like an introduction to the podcast and to us. But don't worry, even if you haven't been listening from day one, just go back and listen now, and you can officially say you've been listening from day one-ish, and you can probably get a little t-shirt.
Nice.
Sorry, I had to sneak that in there.
No, it was worth it. Stand by it.
Yeah, quality.
Yeah.
Smooth.
That's the kind of quality you can expect.
Say it with
from
confidence.
hardest part of the ring. Okay, we should talk wrestling, I think. Before we talk about SummerSlam, though, we're going to touch very briefly on NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3.
Okay.
We all watched it. Any particularly standout matches or performances or individuals that anybody wants to kick us off with and talk about?
The first match, Johnny Gargano and Almas, that was
Great start.
Really fast paced, great match, nice transitions, just what we expect of Johnny wrestling, I guess. Yeah,
and no build up at all, but
Yeah.
it just didn't matter, did it?
Best match of the whole weekend, probably. I think.
Ooh, that's a
wow.
big
Yeah.
shout. I mean, Andrade Amas at the moment is brilliant. Since turning heel, he has been so good, and Johnny Gargano is consistently excellent. It's a really enjoyable match, that.
Yeah, it was good.
I think overall, though, Takeover, my point, sort of, which I felt, was that each match felt like a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a weekly show, and, we might touch on that later, but each match felt like, you were watching the big show of the year sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree. And some amazing entrances again. Alistair Black having his theme tune performed live. That was really cool. One of the big standout matches I know for us was the Asuka Ember Moon match.
Yeah.
And actually, we've got a listener question, our first ever listener question, which is quite exciting, from BBGW Pod on Twitter, which is the Broken But Glorious podcast. With regards to Asuka, how do you move her up to the main shows? With the streak intact to protect her and build her as the female version of Brock to a possible match with Ronda Rousey at Mania, or let someone take her title in NXT and get the rub from doing so? Sam, you're a massive Asuka superfan. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a really good question, actually, because I've been wondering about the same thing. I was shocked when she kind of actually made Ember Moon tap out. I was not expecting that result. I think in regards to what you do with Asuka now is you kind of maybe emulate what they did with Kevin Owens when they brought him up to the main roster. You maybe debut her with the title and maybe do a title for title kind of deal with either Sasha or Natalya. Or maybe not title for title, so to speak, but kind of just like champion versus champion. Those matches always seem to have a special aura about them. And I feel like that would be a really great way to bring Asuka into the fold. As for kind of what you do with the NXT Women's title, I mean, I think Asuka has conveniently decided how that's going to take care of itself by injuring herself. But
how long is she going to be out for?
It's not that long. I think it's 8 weeks. I mean, she when you watch NXT, I think it's quite easy for people to go missing for that period. And
do you reckon she will give up the title as she's injured, or do you reckon she?
I sort of think that maybe it's a good shout because, I mean, it's sort of she's alienated herself from the rest of the roster by just simply dominating every match that comes her way. And I'm not really sure how you then pass on the prestigiousness of what she's achieved to the next superstar. Like, it's quite difficult, I think, at this point.
Yeah, the rub it would give is almost like too big a burden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she could do a really good job, though, coming up to the main roster, maybe with the title. She has a, champion versus champion match, and then either vacates the title or, similar to Kevin Owens, just kind of maybe drops the title in a feud that isn't quite as kind of big as his previous ones. Or maybe it is, who knows. But I just think kind of you get at a point now where she's got to come up soon. She really does.
Yeah.
I think with that run, she's got to dominate when she makes the step up as well.
Yeah.
She can't go up and then them try and build her up slowly. Like, she's got to go in and just destroy competition and head straight for the main belt.
That's what I'm worried about, though, her coming up and then losing to Tamina on like a house show.
Yeah. They treat it like Nakamura.
Yeah.
Have a little feud with the Dolph Ziggler of the female.
I mean, the problem
division.
Sort of with Asuka and Brock Lesnar is no one wrestler should be treated immortally, no matter how good they are. When you have that immortal wrestler, it alienates the rest of the roster. It kind of puts them on a pedestal above everyone else, and it creates this divide. And it's very difficult to close that gap credibly.
Yeah,
Strowman's sorting all that out. Don't you worry about that.
So that's my answer. Just get Braun Strowman to chuck a chair at Asuka.
I'd be fine with that. I know it's wrong, but I would be fine with that. Okay, NXT, we could do a whole separate podcast about it, and it does seem that every single time they have a takeover, it seems to outshine the main pay-per-view, or at least get very close to it. So, we all enjoyed it, and looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, SummerSlam. Definitely one of my favourite pay-per-views.
This SummerSlam or just...
years gone by? No, just generally. Don't worry.
Straight on
years since 92. Obviously, SummerSlam 2017 happened on Sunday evening at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. This was the 30th ever SummerSlam. Including the pre-show, there was a whopping 13 matches on the card, that's a lot, isn't it?
I got halfway through and it was 6, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. They had 8 championship belts up for grabs as well.
Yeah, loads. 8. I know. Here's a lot of matches. There were 3 matches on the pre-show. We won't talk about those too much because there is an awful lot to talk about, but there was the Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan versus The Miz and The Miztourage.
Yeah, that needn't have happened.
No. There was Akira Tozawa versus Neville. where Neville regained the title. And then there was the New Day versus the Usos, which was actually the second longest match of the whole night.
Really?
Yeah, 19 minutes 20
Yeah.
seconds, just under the main
I
event.
can't believe
It was a great match.
match wasn't on the main card,
Yeah.
especially considering
I know.
some of the matches that were on the main card.
Well, obviously, it's a quality matchup that, in terms of the two teams, we have seen it quite a lot, so maybe that's why they thought they wouldn't use it. But, I mean, they put on good matches and they're great wrestlers, so I would have happily have had it on the main card. The belt did change again.
Yeah.
Flip-flopping titles seems to just be a thing with WWE at the moment.
There's some strange title choices, I think, on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, odd ones. Can I just say on the Neville Tozawa match, I recall when we were sat watching SummerSlam, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a suicide dive / tope suicida that I enjoy. Like, I think looks great. And then Tozawa just did like a missile of tope suicida in this match, and Ronaldo wasn't there to put the garnish on it. It was
who was commentating on the pre-show?
On that one, I think it was Corey Graves and some other dude.
Some other dude.
I love that guy's work.
Yeah, I should say actually that Brett and Sam and I got together at Brett's house.
And
just a brilliant host. What a great host Brett was.
My house.
Yeah. My house at Brett's yard.
Yeah, my yard.
And John couldn't make it. He just doesn't actually like hanging out with us in real life.
Cry face.
Just likes to keep it on Skype.
Yeah.
But we didn't watch the pre-show because we wanted to watch NXT Takeover, and then we had 4 hours of SummerSlam to watch. So we've caught up on it separately though. But yeah, let's just go into the main card. We started off with John Cena versus Baron Corbin.
This is a match that could have been on a pre-show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Cena on a pre-show. Do you think?
I know.
Oh.
I'd also like to know like how many like Kirsten jerkers has Cena been involved in? I can't imagine it's many.
No, I was wondering that. But I think this could be a match that Brett quite enjoys talking about. We did get a comment.
Everyone just sit back and enjoy.
Well, we got a comment from Ryan G on Twitter at @rgrizzle, and he said, "Laugh at Corbin," and I said, "Don't you worry about that, we will." So, Brett, enjoyed it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, not much else to say on this match except for like my enjoyment in Baron Corbin being buried.
Yeah,
like from the Money in the Bank instant that I laughed lots at.
Yeah.
To like this match where he just got steamrolled by Cena. It just seemed he's obviously upset someone
in a big way.
Yeah.
Well, I think because of his, he's been a bit naughty on Twitter, saying things that he shouldn't have, and they think, potentially Vince isn't very happy with him. So, teaching him a little lesson, but I expect they'll build him up again. And
I don't know. I feel like it must be more than that because I don't think Vince would care too much if he's got Twitter beef with Mojo Rawley.
Do you know, I was wondering what Baron Corbin could have done to have upset like the establishment, and then I listened to his interview in the pre-show, which was 90% bleeped out because he must have kept swearing.
Oh, didn't he fluff his lines on that though?
Is that what happened? I wasn't sure. Like, it was all silence, and I was just like, my God, he must have gone on a tirade.
It was. He started saying picked like the wrong people with the right fight or something like that. He like totally fluffed his lines and went to repeat it, and they just bleeped it.
It was quite awkward. But Baron Corbin, he's finding his voice. He's coming out with some great lines now.
he was very vocal, wasn't
in
he?
this match, yeah. It's because the crowd was so quiet, though, I think, as well.
I'm doing pretty good, you moron.
Yeah.
As a Baron Corbin classic.
Moron is definitely an upgrade on dummies. What he brought out in the last pay-per-view. I like the way he trolled Brett with the early sort of slide under the bottom rope and then round the turnbuckle and back in. He did that twice. Three times.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to fight Baron Corbin's corner here for a bit. I think he was better in this match than I have seen him in a lot of matches as of late, and probably in his career to date.
Ooh.
I think
I thought this
he
match
dropped
was
a really good choke.
bad.
I think it was better than his Nakamura match.
It wasn't a classic. You'd expect to see better from Cena, really, but
It just felt very throwaway, sort of almost like a TV match. Well, lower than a TV match.
I mean, I think you could say that about a lot of the matches on tonight's card, but
Yeah.
I think with Baron Corbin, him kind of maybe throwing a bit of a tantrum has invested me a bit more in his character than just acting as if he's above everything. I think kind of him losing this Money in the Bank title, Money in the Bank briefcase, might be a really good thing for his character if he continues this kind of petulant child kind of gimmick.
yeah.
I follow Road Dogg on Twitter, and he tends to answer quite a lot of questions because he helps run like creative for SmackDown. And he gets loads of questions about Corbin being buried and stuff. And every time he says, "Oh, everyone just doesn't see the long picture. There's a big story plan, blah blah blah." I'm like, this is WWE. There's no long picture.
No.
I mean, I hope this can be the beginning of a bit of a change for Baron Corbin, where he can go on to do big things.
Yeah, Impact.
'Cause- fair enough.
Yeah, so just back to Cena, I mean, you mentioned, John, him doing the curtain twitcher spot. I was wondering how many times he's ever opened a pay-per-view, so I looked into it, couldn't find out. Couldn't be bothered to do
To
loads
watch
of
every
research.
pay-per-view
But
on the network.
I did find out the total number of appearances for WWE that John Cena has. Have you got any guesses?
What, like TV,
Well,
PPVs?
I think it's matches, but I think it's, also if there's a week where he goes and signs a contract or something for a match, it counts.
Oh, good lord! He's been wrestling 20 years, 2 shows a week, and then plus house shows.
Just a random guess. Go on.
400. Bang on the money. 400.
Oh, no, nowhere near.
22,000.
Absolutely nowhere near. It's in the middle. It's not even in the middle. It's in between. 1,290.
Okay.
He is number 3 out of the top total appearances for WWE ever. Can you guys name number 1 and number 2? This is for a podcast point. Okay.
Oh,
Kane. Kane number 1.
Is he?
1,630 appearances.
Straight in there. Do I get the
Okay,
podcast point for that?
You get 1 podcast point. Sam,
Nice.
congratulations. Anyone got an idea?
Taker.
The second one?
Undertaker. Oh, yeah.
No. One more guess.
Not the Taker.
Can I make a second guess?
Triple H.
Yeah, you can double up, Sam. It's your
Orton.
chance. No.
Ah.
Orton is in the top 5, but no points up for grabs, I'm afraid, for top 5. Dolph Ziggler's also in the top 5.
God, I thought you were going to say Dolph Ziggler was number 2 there. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No. So you've got Kane number 1, and then you've got Big Show,
oh, would never have guessed. Big Show.
1,424,
Big
and
Show?
then Cena. So those guys, wow, that's a lot of appearances.
The franchise.
Yeah. So Sam, congratulations, 1 podcast point. You're on the
Nice.
leaderboard.
Cool.
Good skills. So moving on to the next match, which was the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Natalya and Naomi. Natalya equalled Trish Stratus's record of appearing at 39 pay-per-views, which is pretty impressive. We have talked about this before separately, but Kane has appeared at 170 pay-per-views, which is crazy. What did you guys think about this? Obviously, Naomi had another wonderful entrance, some sort of a crazy glowing jacket coat.
Yeah. Like
That
a
was amazing.
furry,
Yeah.
glowy neon jacket.
I want one of those.
Put Jericho's
too.
to shame, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
I'm not a big fan of either of these two.
No?
No, I don't. Just with Natalya, I feel like when she's wrestling, she's kind of just like half a step too slow. Like she's thinking about it too much. It seems really like rehearsed and thought out. I just haven't really clicked with Naomi, and I don't like the way she's disrespecting the belt by making it glow.
Hey, I think
Well,
that's
you don't
that's
need to worry
respecting
about
it.
that anymore.
Yeah.
She's taken the belt up to another level for me. I think yeah, it's amazing what she's done with that belt.
I'm pro glow belt, 100%.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But it's over. I'm gutted
over.
that she lost the belt, and I don't think she's necessarily an amazing wrestler, but I just think as a package she's great since she has been repackaged, and her entrance and the music and her attire and all that stuff. So
I don't get the change myself. It just feels like everyone's getting a turn in SmackDown.
Yeah.
rather than there being any. It's like, okay, now it's your like month to be champion.
The one thing I would say with Naomi is, would you be as impressed with her if she didn't have the amazing entrance?
No.
She
No, I
she has spots, doesn't she? Like sometimes, like there's a few moments that you're like, that's really cool, but it's not like a smooth, seamless sort of wrestler. There are moments where you like, you know.
Yeah, I've just warmed to her generally, just when she sat in on commentary in the build up to this, and she's just likable, and you know.
Yeah, she looked like she really cared though. Like I think like that she looked like she actually was like crying because she'd lost.
There was
Yeah, she
definitely a
did.
tear rolling
Yeah.
down her cheek, wasn't there?
Yeah, that it didn't seem like that was fake. That seemed like, you know, gutted.
Yeah. I thought
So
that
are we
was really good.
expecting Carmella to cash in anytime soon, or is that not really going to work? Heel versus heel?
Yeah,
What do you reckon?
probably not.
No,
I think
she's
they
going
could
to
turn,
hold on to it.
I think they could turn Natalia face again, though, with very little effort. Like, I think she's a safe pair of hands for them.
She's so bland.
You know what's going to happen is Naomi's going to win it back on SmackDown.
Oh
tonight,
yeah, maybe.
And,
Maybe.
this is going to be out of date, and that's exactly what they've been doing recently. So
They spent far too much
wouldn't be
money on those
surprised.
LEDs on the title to not get another use out of it.
yeah, exactly.
They probably won't
Do you
even take
think,
them
like-
off. They'll probably just keep them on as well.
Yeah,
Do you think, like with some of the other matches we'll talk about as well, that they were using title changes to get some interest in uninteresting matches? Like they were trying to get a pop from a change in title as opposed to the feud and the match itself.
maybe.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably true of the pre-show matches, and it seems strange that they kind of had that title flip-flop with the Cruiserweight.
Yeah. Just seemed really cheap, sort of, and unnecessary for most of the time.
I think with Natalia, there's quite a few. My sources in WWE indicate she might be retiring or leaving soon.
One last run.
Yeah, one last run.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Okay, moving on to the next match, which could be an interesting one to talk about. This was Big Cass versus The Big Show, with Enzo Amore suspended above them in a shark cage. What did you think of the shark cage, Sam?
It was 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that.
They've got a lot of use out of it, haven't
Yeah,
they?
they definitely have.
They've been abusing that shark cage. This match was a joke. It had no place being on the card. The whole thing was just ridiculous. The promo at the beginning was overlong and just boring. Big Cass is just a massive spray tan at the moment.
Oh, the
Oh
tan
my
was
God.
awful, wasn't it? What was going on there?
Yeah.
Enzo Amore greasing himself up and popping out of the cage to get kicked in the face. This was one of the stupidest things I think I've ever seen in wrestling, and that's a hotly contested title.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that. I thought that was quite funny and acceptable, and the kind of thing that he would do, and
Yeah.
I didn't mind it at all.
Where was the end game there? It wasn't like I'm going to grease myself up and jump onto this guy. It was I'm going to grease myself up, kind of hang from it awkwardly, and then just get kicked. It was just stupid.
Well, obviously his plan was going to be to jump and take out Big Cass.
Yeah, but he just kind of very slowly
Slid
lowered
down.
himself
Yeah.
down.
He didn't, but yeah.
Very carefully.
If that had been Kalisto or, like Jeff Hardy or someone cool, it
Yeah.
would have been very different.
This match felt like late era WCW, which is always
Yeah.
a terrible, terrible sign.
Yeah, it had the Judy Bagwell on a pole, kind of epic.
It's quite interesting though, because obviously Big Cass is someone, it feels like they're trying to get over a little bit, but the crowd don't really like him. And obviously you've got Enzo, who the crowd do like, but they are desperately trying to bury because everyone hates him.
Yeah.
About that, right? Do you think that WWE have maybe thought, we're trying to bury Enzo, how do we do this? We just give him enough rope to hang himself, and they're just giving him longer and longer promos, so that eventually the crowd just turn around and go, oh my god, I don't care.
It felt like that was
Yeah.
happening in this promo, didn't it? It felt like the crowd-
He's got such high standards. Usually, his promos have been, his best part. But this one was so laboured, and he had one a couple of weeks ago that was just so really laboured and long. And
They're doing the
Not good.
Roman Reigns murder method of just overexposure.
I mean, there were actually boring chants during this match.
yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say
So,
that's
Well, I mean-
obviously not a good sign.
There were also like some big Enzo Amore chants as well, because I was thinking the crowd must be turning on him, because like to us it seemed like he was getting a bit annoying in this match, and it was like in the pay-per-view they were trying to do what he is backstage maybe from reports, but like, and then like he got a massive pop from the crowd, so the crowd aren't quite ready, but the wrestling in the match itself definitely got boring chants.
Should we just quickly recap why there's all these rumours going around, just in case anyone doesn't, in case anyone hasn't heard? It's because apparently he's a bit of a dick backstage and everyone hates him.
Yeah.
Just to be blunt.
Recapping.
Roman Reigns kicked him off a bus because he was loudly putting the industry down on the phone, I think.
Apparently the character we see isn't necessarily really much of a character.
I hear he's a bit Nicholas Bentner-esque.
Yeah. If you see him on Instagram and watch the stories, he is definitely the same all the time.
There you go. And did you see on Raw last night they had a Brooklyn street fight, which went terribly wrong because Cass got injured?
No, I didn't.
I guess that puts that feud to bed.
He went for a big boot and went over the top rope and landed awkwardly, and I think his knee buckled slightly, and he looked pretty annoyed. So who knows how long he'll be out for, but that's fine. Give him some more time to top up his tan.
I mean, Cass is going to be a lower mid-card guy, isn't he? And Enzo, I don't know where he's going to go. NXT, maybe? Send him
Impact.
Cruiserweights.
Yeah, 205.
That could be good. That could be really good.
I think Enzo should be on comms. He's that good. Put him on commentary.
Yeah, he won't want to do that until he's retired or he's got a long injury.
I think he's going to be gone by WrestleMania.
WWE love putting assholes on commentary.
Bold prediction.
Putting it down. Mark this moment in time, people.
We will. We'll get a little clip of that so we can play it to you again.
When he's lifting the title at
when he's lifting the belt at WrestleMania. Perfect. Okay, next up was a very short match, and we are really not going to talk much about it, I don't think. Well, the funny thing here is that we were at Brett's house, and we were a bit pushed for time to watch the whole of SummerSlam, so we decided, because we literally had no interest in this match, that we would skip it and then agree to watch it when we got home.
Shame on you.
Then later on, we were messaging, and John asked us about the match.
Well, don't throw me in front of that bus.
Hey, we all skipped it.
Yeah, okay.
We all did.
But we have gone back and watched it, and the only notes I've got two notes: Rusev attack before bell, Orton RKO after bell. That's it, right?
That's a good
Rusev
summary.
deserves better.
Rusev had less screen time than a beach ball.
Yeah,
we could talk about Rusev and everything for a long time,
ages.
But let's just move on, shall we?
Yeah, he deserves more. That's all we need to say.
Yeah. Raw Women's Championship match came up next with John's current favourite wrestler, Alexa Bliss, versus Sasha Banks.
Yep.
John, how are you feeling about the fact
I
that she lost the
I
belt?
was generally quite gutted about the result. I thought this was the best match up until this point. It probably wasn't as good as their last match they had on... What was the last... Not Battleground, was it?
Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire, thank you. But I thought it was pretty solid. These two apparently there's quite a lot of tension between them. They don't like each other very much, but I think in the ring they work pretty well together. I really like the spot where Alexa Bliss kind of pulled the apron skirt in and Sasha fell off. That was lovely.
Yeah.
I thought the end felt really weird and a little rushed because Alexa was targeting Sasha's arm and she was injured, and she tried to do the bank statement earlier and couldn't do it because her arm hurt so much, and then she just did a bank statement. It was fine.
They just forgot about it.
Yeah,
quite a sudden ending, this match.
Yeah, it did. So
weird.
Sam, one thing you said that you've always been a massive Sasha fan. You've got a Sasha t-shirt, right?
I do have a Sasha Banks t-shirt.
But you said that you're no longer a fan. Have you burnt the t-shirt, or is it basically it's too small, doesn't fit, so you've decided you hate it?
I mean, recently most of my t-shirts are becoming too small, don't fit, but for completely different reasons. Unfortunately, it's in the drawer with the Bailey t-shirt of just why are you doing this? Why are you not wrestling good? That's not fair.
Yeah.
Why?
Whoa.
No. Okay, now I'm going to redo that. My problem with Sasha Banks at the moment is I don't think she's a very good face. Or maybe she's an alright face, but she's a phenomenal heel. And
yeah,
I miss the Sasha Banks from NXT. I really do. I would really strongly recommend going back and watching Sasha Banks versus Bayley at Brooklyn Takeover. I think it was 2015. It's one of the best matches I've seen in years.
She's still really good in the ring, though. I think she, like, across all performers in WWE, she's easily in my top 3 favourite to watch.
No, that's fair. I love Sasha Banks' kind of the way she jumps off the ropes with the knees, and I'm always a little bit like, oh my god, you're so skinny. Please don't jump like that. You are eventually going to bend like a pretzel. But she is an excellent performer in the ring. I just kind of I like her as a heel.
I thought some of her match with Nia Jax actually was quite interesting and different, seeing like having a bigger performer being able to sort of throw Sasha around a bit, and especially when they're, you know, spinning around the torso sort of moves, looked much more interesting, having that difference in build, giving them more things they can do that we haven't seen. So I think that's probably what might be coming next.
Yeah, going back to the 50-50 booking, I reckon this is key. This is going to go back, I reckon, soon.
You reckon? I mean, they had Alexa Bliss as like the main person on that No Mercy promo, so you've got to think that she's going to be involved quite heavily.
The problem is, I mean, Sasha already has had a period of flip-flopping the title with Charlotte. It's just, it's a bit annoying, really, because, you know, whether you support the wrestler or not, so when there's the belt change, it's a big deal. It should be a big deal. And so you're like, okay, cool, new era, let's see what happens. And then suddenly, bang. I don't mind it happening occasionally, but if you look how often it's happening at the moment, and you know, but who knows? Could work out okay.
No, I agree completely.
Cool. So, next match after that was Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor, the Demon King edition. Anybody got any thoughts on the whole Demon King thing?
Mine is, if you're going to be a demon, right, be a demon. Do something different that's nasty and demonic, rather than just a bit of makeup and crawling to the ring.
I was going to say, the crawling. He did loads
Finn
of crawling.
Balor Halloween mode.
But it's like, in the ring, he does nothing different. He's the same sort of...
I don't know, there's a little bit, like, kind of, he does that crawling around in the ring, like when Bray Wyatt went into his crab bridge pros thing, he kind of crawled towards him, but...
Yeah, but, like, a demon's evil. Like, it should do anything, like, to get an upper hand, not, like, you know, still play the, like...
Yeah. Oh, right, so, like, his actual moveset and stuff, like, being a bit more kind of...
Yeah.
It would be quite cool if he did have a couple of moves that he sort of saved back for that, or you know, more typically heel type moves or something a bit more
nasty,
demonic,
a bit more underhanded.
Yeah, exactly.
My one note on this match here is that the entrances were the most memorable part of this entire segment. I mean, that's quite a damning indictment of both wrestlers.
I think that's a bit harsh. I don't think the build to this has been great. I wasn't really excited about this match beforehand, but I thought they did a pretty good job. I thought the match was pretty solid. I liked how Bray was kind of selling being scared of Finn. You know, when he turned up in the Demons, he looked pretty shocked. And even throughout the match, he kept looking at him and being a bit worried. I thought that was interesting.
The most telling kind of summary of this whole feud is something I actually read on Reddit by Kwang Chung, who wrote down, Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor is a feud between a cult leader without a cult and a club leader without a club. And I think that kind of sums it up.
Yeah. It was a solid match, though.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
It was fun. I don't think you can complain too much.
No, I didn't personally. I didn't enjoy this match. For me, like it was one of those ones that felt like you've watched it on Raw. It didn't have any more, apart from the entrances. That was the only extra spectacle I felt from it.
Yeah,
I think you also have to remember, up until this point, we've had pretty awful matches.
So the bar.
So by this point, I was like, "This is
match?
5 stars right now. 5 stars.
Yeah.
5 stars."
This average match has just blown my mind.
I'll give you that, John.
So what about the next match? That was the Raw Tag Team Championship match. The champs Sheamus and Cesaro up against the sort of semi-Shield reunion of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. I just wanted to touch really quickly on this, the Shield thing. I think Michael Cole said that the Shield were Tag Team of the Year in 2013.
Wow.
So I went back and had a look at this because I was wondering about
Adam.
previous. Yeah.
Is a podcast point about to be awarded?
No.
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah.
sorry.
I'm just going to tell you some facts, and
Okay.
you're not allowed to say anything. Okay. I might award myself a point because I've done very good research. So you guys can decide if I deserve one.
That's best for business, is it?
Yeah. So yeah, they said that they won Tag Team of the Year in 2013, but they actually won Faction of the Year, which was a separate award. The Usos won Tag Team of the Year.
How many factions were there? Who were they up against?
Well, they had like the Wyatt family and
Rosebuds, do they count? Back in 2004?
yeah, probably. In 2015, do you know what? I've actually given you wrong information. So
Oh,
I
no
think I'm on
points.
negative points. Yeah, sorry. 2013, I said it was the Usos who got it, but it was actually Cody Rhodes and Stardust
Ooh.
who got Tag Team of the Year.
In 2013?
Yeah,
Stardust and Goldust.
yeah,
Even.
basically. 2014, Shield got Faction of the Year again, and the Usos got Tag Team. 2015, Usos got Tag Team, and then there was no Faction of the Year award. So obviously, not enough factions; they'd all disbanded. But in 2015, they did have a Hashtag of the Year award.
Oh my
Any
god.
ideas? Any ideas? Potential points on offer?
2015.
2015 hashtag of the year.
Suplex
Fire
City.
Roman Reigns.
No. What did you say, Brett?
I didn't say anything.
Hey.
I said Suplex City.
You said Suplex City. That is correct.
Hey.
Yeah, that gets a point. I was saying there are no points up for grabs, but sod it, I've changed my mind. And then Insult of the Year they had.
Roman
any
Reigns.
idea? John, I reckon you can get this one.
In 2015.
Yeah, just think, along the same lines.
Oh, Suplex
Exactly
City, bitch.
the same line. Yeah. Basically, Brock Lesnar coining the phrase "Suplex City" was Insult of the Year. So these were the Slammies,
That's not what he
Slammy
said.
Awards. Yeah, Slammy Awards, and then decided not to have them in 2016. I wonder why. Anyway, the match.
Sorry, missed.
What do we think? The entrances: Sheamus and Cesaro, camo kilts.
What is
Did we
going
like
on?
those?
What is going
Yeah.
on with Cesaro?
I liked his outfit. I thought it looked cool.
He's become a strange amalgamation of all of the previous kind of tag teams and personas he's had. He's kind
Yeah.
of like a spy, a Celtic warrior, now a soldier as well. It's a mess. He's like a Ken doll that's been dressed up by like a cousin.
You mean he looked like he was in an 80s music video?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I mean, what they wear it's not to my taste as such, but I'm pleased that they've actually done something to make them a tag team, because you often get these single competitors put together and then they don't really do much.
And they have been
obviously
amazing together.
Yeah,
They're a really
they
good
have.
tag team. A really good tag team. It's a bit strange, like the whole. He's gone from the man who just is a bald guy in like plain trunks to the man who's wearing a little bit of everything.
with a bit of shoulder strapping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just taped all together,
Yeah,
taped onto him.
Did you hear when they came out that Graves said that they requested to come out first despite the fact they're champions?
No,
I did hear that.
No, I missed that completely.
Yeah, any thoughts on that?
Why?
Yeah, because I mean,
What did that add?
I don't know. Because I mean, I suppose typically the champions meant to come out last, although in WWE that means nothing.
Yeah.
Do you think they just knew that they were going to get a massive pop for the Shield reunion?
Yeah.
So?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
It'd been crazy to send
yeah.
them out set first.
This match was my favourite one of the night by quite a margin.
This batch definitely got the biggest reaction from you.
Yeah,
Sitting next to you when the beach ball thing happened, you loved it. You absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I was a massive fan of this because like it felt organic. I believe it was organic, and I think, you know what, he was completely within his right to do so. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool to see a wrestler who cares so much about what's happening and to be so aware of the crowd at the same time, to be like, I'm a heel, you guys aren't paying enough attention, I'm going to go into the crowd and just completely tear this up. And I just thought that's brilliant. That's top heel work, and it's excellent to see something so cool and organic and engaging to the audience.
The crowd loved
if you
it.
believe
as well.
if you believe everything you see on social media, apparently they kicked a bunch of people out of the next episode of Raw for like having beach balls.
Yeah, I saw that happen. That was during the main event, wasn't it?
It's
Yeah.
strange. Like, I don't want people to get kicked out of Raw, but you're going to watch a wrestling match. You're not going to go. Well, I say smack a beach ball around. They do say it's the biggest party of the summer, so maybe a little bit of leniency could be tolerated. But
I just hope that Cesaro never goes to see a Chuck Mambo match.
I was going to say, Chuck Mambo brings his own beach balls.
Yeah, exactly.
And lots of them.
He does.
There was also a great point in this match with a sound guy or a cameraman, I can't remember what.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets caught on camera, and he has this one moment of he looks at the other camera, realises he's in shot, and then takes like a very deft step to the left behind the turnbuckle, and
that was
it was brilliant.
After a great face as well.
It was really
The
funny.
eyebrows go up. Oh.
That guy has now been fired.
It was just a really good match, though. Like, there was a lot of good spots in it. There was a lot of really good wrestling. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins do make a good team. They still got it, I think.
This might be the best WWE storyline of the year, maybe. I feel like it's really resonated. It's been really good.
My favourite part of it is that they replaced Roman Reigns with a turnbuckle when they attempted to do the powerbomb.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. And obviously, I was going to say, I didn't see the title change coming. I didn't think they'd give it to them so soon, but I suppose with all the other title changes, I probably should have seen it coming.
I haven't watched Raw since then. Are they still coming out individually?
Yes. Well, basically, Ambrose came out. His intro was cut short, and he stayed at the top of the ramp, and then Rollins came out, and then they walked down together. So
that upsets me a little bit. I kind of You're tag team champions, guys.
Did you enjoy Rollins coming out at SummerSlam dressed as Kane?
Yes. Absolutely loved that.
I tell you what, though, I love the little tweak they've done to his entrance music. The adding in Burn It Down.
Yeah, me too.
Great. I really like that entrance music anyway, just for the double kick in it is a sweet as, but yeah, it works really nicely.
It does. Cool, good match. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the future with Ambrose and Rollins. Obviously, they had a match on Raw with the Hardy Boys. And you'd hope that all three of those teams are going to be in the title picture.
Yeah.
Well, they will be, let's face it. Next up, we had the United States Championship match between Kevin Owens and the champion AJ Styles with guest referee Shane McMahon. I was going to ask you guys if you had any favourite guest refs from years gone by, but then I couldn't actually really think of any.
Austin with Goldberg versus Brock. That was amazing.
That classic. Shawn Michaels in Daniel Bryan versus Triple H, I think.
Yeah.
That was. I'm really hoping that actually happened, or I didn't dream that, but I'm fairly certain that was a really good.
Just go with it.
He's definitely been a ref.
Yeah, he always wears like those stupidly short shorts whenever he refed. I remember. I thought this was a really good match.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to this one. Apart from the main event, this is the match I was most looking forward to. Of obviously two of the best wrestlers who seem like they genuinely don't like each other. They really go to war on each other. They've had a couple of dodgy matches, obviously, in the past. Oh well, the one at the last pay-per-view in particular. But yeah, it was great. I thought it was a really good match.
Yeah, Shane O'Mac needs to go back to refereeing school. It seems a lot of his calls were very interesting. My favourite being at some point, I think he got knocked over. He comes back up, and I think I'm hoping it was AJ who was claiming the win. Yeah, and he said he tapped out, and then Shane McMahon corrected him and said no, it was a 2.
Yeah, it's a 2 count. No, he tapped. 2.
Yeah, that was funny.
He just said 2 to everything.
Yeah,
the foot was on the rope. Oh no, that was 2.
Yeah. I thought he was great. I think he did a good job.
They made the best out of actually having a special guest ref. Like, kind of, if you put a special guest ref in, actually give a reason for it. And I think they did that in this match.
Yeah, totally.
By just having him be completely incompetent. Shane McMahon, he's going to the same spray tan salon as Big Cass.
Yeah, do you reckon they go in together?
Yeah, the show
their
roof.
little goggles on,
I reckon it's probably just the Big Show just pouring gallons of it over your head.
pouring treacle over each of them. Black treacle.
While he's vaping. It's all right, just get this on you.
So obviously, it looks as if with what happened in the match, Owens is now going to start a feud with Shane O'Mac, which I'm pretty excited about. Probably going to lead to the match, a big pay-per-view, a couple of coast-to-coasts.
Do we
maybe
reckon that's
jump off some big building?
WrestleMania or Survivor Series?
Survivor Series, surely.
Yeah,
probably
sooner than Mania.
Too long a build otherwise. We have got a comment from Dom Richards on Twitter. He says, Shane is a great opponent for Owens, as he is one of the few guys on the roster who will A, take a steam bump, and B, be allowed to.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
Are we going to see Shane O'Mac get package pile drivered?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
I don't know.
Well, the things he puts himself through, I wouldn't be surprised. I would probably be quite surprised at the time, but yeah, it's something that I could see Shane O'Mac doing.
I feel like Shane O'Mac's got a little bit of leeway because his match with AJ at WrestleMania was pretty good, and before that, I was like, I don't want to see him in the ring anymore.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's earned a little bit of trust, I think, with that match.
I think we're all kind of Shane McMahon fans, and just the fact that we know he's the kind of guy who'll do anything, and we like that.
Yeah, I also like him because I think he's like the outcast in the McMahon family.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he has that little underdog like spirit of him putting like his body through the ringer to try and get some like, I'm here, I'm a McMahon, I'm part of this.
I fear for when Stephanie eventually takes the Iron Throne and
it's going to get nasty.
Okay, so moving on then to the next match, our first full championship match for the WWE Championship was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal, also known as the
toilet break match.
No, Jinder. Jinder's also known as the
modern day Maharaja.
Lovely stuff.
I'm going to go with the toilet break match. I'm going to stick with that though.
Yeah. Well, a bit harsh. I mean, it is a championship match, and it has got Nakamura in it.
Yeah.
So this whole pay-per-view had a lot of really great entrances and a really lot of really bad matches to kind of go with them.
Cool. Let's keep it positive, guys.
Are we going to see more of this match? Is it done? Can Nakamura move on to AJ Styles in the US belt, or are we going to have to see Nakamura versus the Singh brothers versus Jinder Mahal a few times before that happens?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, we've got another question on Twitter from Tom Core at Tom Core. Where do we think the Mahal booking will go next? So, yeah, it's definitely worth talking about. I mean, I
guess SmackDown will probably give us more, once that happens, of what might happen next. But
so I had a thought about this question earlier, because I think a lot of the problem with Jinder at the moment is there's very, very little credibility to back up his position at the moment. Every single match or feud he's having is ending the same way, which is the Singh brothers interfere and then he does the finisher, and it's a little bit like there's just no credibility there. You're not selling us why you are a heel champion. You're just some guy. And I was thinking what they should do is maybe put the Nakamura feud on ice for a little while, have him feud with someone who is a face, who he can really get his heel kind of teeth sunk into, and at the same time someone who sells really well.
I see where you're going now.
Yeah.
I am saying that maybe Jinder should feud with a little known man called Sami Zayn, and
I'd love to see that.
I'm not saying Sami should win that feud. I'm saying as sickening as it is for me to say Sami shouldn't win matches, I think kind of he's the perfect person to maybe help push Jinder get him over as a legitimate heel, as opposed to just someone who's relying on the Singh brothers every single feud.
It's an interesting point because WWE have backed themselves into a bit of a corner because they've painted Jinder to be this like anti-American evil heel, but they don't really have a roster full of baby faces that can take the title off of him. Especially now Cena's moved on to Raw.
Yeah.
And I mean, with Jinder, like, I don't mind someone having two people, like a tag team, help them. Like, I think Seth Rollins did a great job of it with J&J Security. But, you know, when the chips were down, when J&J were thrown out and it was like, okay, now you've got to fight on your own, Seth Rollins could pull it out of the bag and do amazing stuff. And I think that's kind of what we want to see from Jinder, is that I don't think anyone begrudges him to do well. Like, kind of, he's been put in that position because most likely of his physique and his apparent nationality.
Canadian.
But, you know, that's the situation we're in. So maybe try and work with it a little bit rather than just kind of strangely disparaging India by kind of making it look really bad, to be honest.
I would love it if they turned him babyface.
I actually think I'd enjoy that quite a lot.
Yeah, I think it would work really well. I think people would be so down for that.
I think lots of people would, bar a lot of the audiences that just seem to want to boo anyone from any other nationality, no matter how much of a face they might be portraying.
I don't know if that's true. Shinsuke Nakamura doesn't get booed.
No, but like, I don't know. There's moments with the Jinder India sort of entrance the last time, and it just like there was a really positive thing going on, and they were just booing.
But I mean, that was done very tongue-in-cheek by WWE, wasn't it? Like, that was kind of, here's an amazing dance, and now here's my mother singing the national anthem. They were obviously trying to rile the audience up. And
they got a bad singer, you know. I think they must have picked her on purpose because she was a bad singer, and hopefully I'm not being offensive to that lady, and she was actually supposed to be very good. But
you're going to upset our 6 Indian listeners.
Oh, God, yeah, sorry, guys. So sorry. Although one of them's John.
Yeah.
And one of them's John's other half.
I can see John's look on his face and he's disgusted with you, Adam.
I'm so sorry. So sorry, John. So, Jinder kept the belt. You know, it's good that somebody kept a belt. That's SummerSlam, I suppose. I think we should move on.
Yeah.
To the final match of the night, and definitely the one I was so excited for, obviously, because it had Brock. Not Brock, what am I talking about? Because it had Braun Strowman in. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. This just had such an amazing main event feel. Again, such great build up to this match. The VTs with all the highlights from the build just really got me totally pumped. And then what a start!
Yeah, Braun Strowman was once again actually the standout person in the match he was in. This was excellent stuff from him.
This match felt like the Brock and Braun show a little bit.
Yeah,
not in a bad way. Like, I think it was a great main event, but it definitely felt those two were the main attractions.
He is absolutely killing it at the moment. Every time he's given an opportunity, he does something which you're just like, whoa, holy shit. And it's great to see, like, chairs being chucked around.
There's another chair chucked. And I think that it looked as if the feet of that chair connected with Roman's head. Did you see that on that?
Did
GIF?
It did. It definitely looked like that.
Looked nasty.
Yeah, he is killing it at the moment.
He is. It was
really
brutal.
great.
That start was totally brutal. Even Roman's spear, that was great at the start. It was hilarious when Graves said that he hoped Strowman was going to use Saxton as a weapon. That really made me laugh.
Oh, just not a lot to say other than just a really, really kind of well put together match. Like, you want to see Clash of the Titans wrestling. This is kind of what you're looking for in that.
Yeah. It was just loads of fun.
Just to touch on Brock as well. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of Brock Lesnar. I love Brock Lesnar because I think he makes it feel like legitimate.
Yeah.
And also, every match he does something which surprises me. Like in this match, he went through the barricade, 2 tables, and had a table put on top of him.
A 200-pound table, according to Graves. Yeah, no, you're right. It was great.
Ambulance.
And you could easily say, I don't see Lesnar allowing that kind of thing to happen to him.
Yeah.
But he did, and it did.
He's so great at putting other wrestlers over, I think.
I mean, I don't think people dislike Brock because he's bad in the ring. I think people dislike Brock because he turns up every few weeks or every few months, if that. And
I quite like it though. It makes it feel special, like with Heyman in the ring, and he's just there jogging on the spot while Heyman's spouting out all the stuff.
Little bit similar to the Asuka problem, where you end up elevating one person so high above everyone else that you end up kind of putting them on a pedestal that no wrestler can realistically reach. And then when that person isn't then showing up every single week, essentially it makes you just feel like you're watching the B show.
It is a problem, the belt not being there, and they're not having the champion there every week on Raw, I think. But I think it's okay because it is Brock. But I was kind of excited. I think we all thought the title was going to change, didn't we?
Yeah, I genuinely thought it was Braun's time.
Yeah, and I was really looking forward to having the belt being defended on a weekly basis. But now we've had the match and the way it ended, and then the face-to-face between Strowman and Lesnar on Raw last night, and the fact that they're going to follow up with that feud. I'm excited. I can't wait to see just them go one-on-one against each other. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's a match you can't really call. I think that could go either way.
Yeah. I really, really want kind of Braun to follow through with the progress he's made. I think it's a good time at the moment, striking while the iron's hot.
Yeah. You'd assume he will win.
I think he might, because, in obviously a fatal four-way, there's other guys to, impose their will on the match and weaken him as such, but now it's just him versus Brock, so he's he should be unleashed, I guess, at that point against the one foe.
His build must lead to him having the title. I can't see him dropping down and going back up again.
They've spent all this time building the credibility with Brock up, and that's good. It's nice to kind of build someone up, but comes a point where it's like, okay, now you've got to actually transfer that down to someone who needs it, and you just got to think that at this point it's just the right move to do.
I'd love also if that meant that the Intercontinental belt became relevant again. And some of these guys like Samoa Joe or even Reigns that are up, have been up at the top but not really getting the belt or even going for it.
It wasn't even defended on this pay-per-view.
No, exactly. Like there's a prestigious belt there which had so many great champions in the past. Like give it some kudos now.
As you'd expect, The Miz has been amazing with that, and on Raw last night he's just been brilliant and saying what the hell's going on. I should be on these events.
The Miz doesn't need the Intercontinental title anymore.
No, he is amazing, but he hasn't had he's been amazing against not the best opponents for that.
But it looks as if maybe there could be a thing with him and Joe. They sort of teased that a little bit on Raw.
That would be great.
I thought
Joe was... talk Joe in this match,
Yeah, I thought he was a little bit anonymous in this match.
I was going to say, I thought he was badly booked in this match. He didn't really have any strong moments. He just put everyone in cocaine clutches all the time.
Joe is my favourite wrestler in that match by a long shot, and he just... I don't feel like he showed up, really. It was a surprise.
Massive crowd reaction when he came out as well.
I don't think
the biggest
it was...
out of all four.
Yeah, it wasn't for him, though, was it? I think that's the point. I know, perhaps even in losing, guys can thingy, but some of the stuff that they had planned, obviously he just had his positions that he had to hit, I think.
So okay, well, great main event. In summary, obviously eight titles were defended, 5 of them changed. That is a lot. I mean, it's exciting. It's good to see belts being changed. That is what people want to see, but probably too many. And I think you made a point, Sam, yesterday when we were watching it together, that it seemed like that some of the title changes that kind of needed to be changed weren't, and ones that didn't did.
It just seemed very kind of... I think there were some very odd booking decisions in this.
Yeah.
And maybe...
And there were wins for the old guard, people like Cena and Randy and Brock, all getting their wins when some of the other up and coming people could have got opportunities. But I mean, I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun pay-per-view.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I don't know if any of the matches hugely stood out outside of maybe the Raw tag match. But
the main event was really good.
Actually, the main event was great.
But
I think kind of the spectacle and the presentation around SummerSlam is it's always one of the better ones of the year. I think they do a really good job with it. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah, it didn't feel that special, really,
No.
to me.
I
But maybe it's
thought-
because we didn't watch loads of the build-up, which can sort of help you get a bit excited. But
Yeah.
I mean, just going through the card, a lot of the matches, I mean, they don't really have anything going into them, really.
No. Short build
I mean,
ups.
Cena, Corbin, nothing. Nomi, Natalie, Natalia, sorry, not much. Enzo,
Yeah.
Big Cash, I suppose a little bit. Rusev, Orton, nothing.
yeah,
Banks,
Yeah.
Bliss, I suppose they have a bit. Finn and Bray, they've been building on TV, but not really. No one's connected to it.
Yeah.
And you had the New Day and the Usos who had good build up. Great
Yeah.
match before.
Sure.
And I think they had probably the best. Well, spectacle wise, the last match was the best, but otherwise, New Day versus the Usos was probably the better match
as a
of the
wrestling
whole
match.
night. As
Yeah.
a wrestling match, so many great spots.
Also, that match was the third match in their series. It's the blow-off match.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
You know, you raised a very good point as well with the actual build-up of the matches. Like, kind of for me, the best build-up has actually been the whole Teased Shield reunion,
Yeah.
will they, won't they kind of thing they've been doing. And yeah, I just think kind of maybe the whole thing came together really nicely there.
Yeah, some good, some bad. Pretty much the story for most WWE podcasts. Podcasts? So, oh god,
No, podcast
all
is
good.
great.
Yeah,
They're really good.
all good on this podcast. Probably the story for most WWE pay-per-views. I was going
Go,
to say.
Adam, bury them good.
So that's it. SummerSlam reviewed. The next podcast we have planned is probably going to be for the WWE Mae Young Classic tournament. That's kicking off shortly, which I know we're all really looking forward to. The final's on September the 12th, so we will probably get together to record a podcast in the days after that. Then we've got No Mercy coming up, the Raw pay-per-view on September the 24th. So there should be a couple of new podcasts in September. If you have any questions or comments or any feedback for us, then please do feel free to get in touch. The email is hardestpartofthering@gmail.com. We are on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook as Hardest Part Pod. Hardestpartofthering.com is our website. It's a holding page at the moment, but hopefully there'll be some cool stuff on there. I was going to say soon, but you know, I think we're focusing on the podcast at the moment, so you might have to wait a little bit for that. But yeah, please do spread the word if you've listened to the end, which you have because you're listening to me saying this now. Please do share it and like it and subscribe and all the usual stuff. We do really appreciate it. One other thing that I wanted to say is a little thank you to Simon Herring, who did our music, our intro music, and the outro you're going to hear in a minute. He is available at simonherring.com or Simon Herring on Twitter. So thanks for that, Simon.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
cheers.
you.
And I think that's it.
Guys, I
Uh-oh.
was thinking, for our goodbyes,
Yeah.
as obviously the Nature Boy Ric Flair is not doing too well at the moment, maybe we should all go out on woos.
I like this.
Yeah.
I can't actually say no to that, can I?
No, you just look
No.
awful.
You just got to
Okay.
do it.
Fine. In that case, it is goodbye from Sam.
Woo!
It's goodbye from John.
Woo!
It's goodbye from Brett.
Woo!
And it is goodbye from me. Woo!
Nice.
You got asthma.
That was
Get
possibly
his
the
inhaler, get his
last.
inhaler, so,
That might be the last episode ever of the
Call
hardest
an
part of the ring.
ambulance.
Thanks for listening, guys. That was the hardest part of the ring. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 That is the hardest